Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Hey, very, very serious topic here. I told you a while back about these guys that come here to live here in the Philippines. You know, you have your retirees, such as myself. I've been here like 11 years now. Okay, and then you have what's this new movement, the passport bros. But the more serious ones you have is I call them the runners. These are guys that come here that essentially are running from something. Okay, and one of the tales is I don't know how to exactly break it down to you guys, but they've worked in professions, generally in law enforcement and government and stuff, and they've seen some stuff. And they retire. Of course, you know, a lot of government employees can retire, you know, around 50, 55. And those guys will head over here and try and hide. One case in point, friend of mine to this day, he worked for the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI, okay? And, you know, he spent his life, you know, pushing papers. He's you know, did white-collar crimes. But his last, I guess, 6 months, he went to help a behavioral unit, okay, assist the behavioral unit. And of course, you know, he wasn't, you know, doing the old, you know, like they have on TV shows, you know, hunting down the serial killer and describing it. He wasn't trained for that. He was more or less part of their support staff. And this guy became aware of some things that disturbed him greatly. And being that law enforcement, police officers, and some even FBI agents that have crossed over, okay, were serial killers, serial rapists, working in these departments. He told me, he said at any given time, there's 100 serial rapists working throughout the United States in the police departments. I couldn't believe it. I mean, and at the time, to show you how long we've been friends, at the time, they had gotten this cop down there in Atlanta, and his victims was in the dozens, but they only allowed him to be charged with like 7 or 8. And the only thing that stopped him, he picked one wrong victim. Like she was a housewife and she was executive status or whatever. But most of his victims were everyday people, okay? And being that they were all black, they wouldn't allow him to be charged with all of them simply because, and they said it on the news, they had credibility problem. See, whenever it comes black folks, it's all of a sudden credibility problems. Okay, they protect these people. They have the one right now. He's operating right now in Kansas. Everybody even knows the man's name, badge number, and everything. And he got so many doggone victims, and they won't charge him. They're not going after him because his victims are women of color. And who helps him best is women of color. Y'all sit up here, boy, and go slap damn crazy over something R. Kelly done did years ago. And right now, ongoing, these fools are operating and just free will. That's sick. Now, I get it. In the United States, counting the one in Atlanta that was just recently convicted. There's been only 2 white men in America who's ever been charged and convicted of raping a black woman. And I know you guys probably think that's just the craziest damn thing in the world. And you look at black women and say, why the fuck is this happening? And you don't say anything about it. You have no problem with it. See, these are questions that's going to have to be answered, you guys, on a large scale. How is that possible? That you can turn around and allow yourselves to be treated less than a damn dog. Because I tell you what, I go out here and I kill a dog, and I'm of course it's a misdemeanor, but still I'm going to be ostracized. I'm going to be all over everybody's broadcast. You guys better learn to use social media to your advantage. This is getting dangerous. You're nothing but an animal to these people. And you running around teaching your children to be subservient to that and acceptant of that. In 1976, they convicted a man for beating and raping a woman, a young girl. And it was in North Carolina. And after, when they polled the jury, after the case, the one juror said, I thought she was a white girl because she was very fair. In other words, that's why they convicted that man, because they thought she was white. She could pass for white. When you Google it and find out what I'm talking about, you're going to see him be like, oh my God. And those are the only 2 cases. You need to be concentrating on a little more than just sitting up here having these social wars within the black community, man against woman and all that crazy stuff. Our children, I think it's at around maybe 2,000 to 3,000 every day that's being bullied and harassed in the school system. They're in South Carolina and in Georgia, white kids coming into the classrooms waving Nazi and Confederate flags and calling the kids the black kids the N-word, and nothing's done. No discipline at all. Recently, I think it was Illinois, a little black boy went to fight back because about 4 white guys, they all come at him with that Nazi stuff, and he got suspended. And mama hooting and crying and going to the school board. She has no outlet. This is why I'm telling you, organizing us brothers into these town hall meetings, we're going to seek to put a stop to it. They're bragging about how they treat your children in the school system. And they're down in Florida demanding that they remove any historical references to your children's ancestry. Then give them what they want. Let them have their schools. Pull the kids out. Don't think that these town hall meetings are going to be lighthearted, because that's the things that we're going to do. And black woman, you're going to be ostracized, because when Yugoslavia fell, Bosnia, Herzegovina, y'all remember all that back in the early 90s, when them white women chartered planes, passenger plane to fly into a war zone to get them little white kids out of there. The black FA ain't never did nothing for a black child ever since she been on this doggone earth being subjugated by white massa. And then the first thing you guys want to say, oh, you must hate black women. Well, where's your love at? Why is it black children have to go be victimized daily, terrorized daily? They live in a state of terror. They showed this white police officer, she come on a scene, the little kids, there's little kids there, and she's yelling at them and talking to them like they're dirt. I mean, and with her hand on her gun walking toward them, these 8, 9 year old little kids, they were frightened to death. And y'all don't have a problem with that. But when the brothers get together and they start holding these town hall meetings, stand out of our way, because we're going to demand that the kids get out of the school system. You're not going to be a part of that. Those kids aren't even going to be wanting to be part of you, because see, they're going to be wanting to be with somebody that's going to stand up for them. See, while you wanting to have all this fake stuff on and try to look like Miss Lily White Woman, your children are being beaten to death. When Trump won the election in 2016, it was January 2017, and you can check it out. Over 10,000 cases of sexual assault. Boys grabbing girls in their vaginal areas, and the majority of the girls that was being assaulted were black girls. 10,000 within a week. That's your news reportings. Not one of y'all had objection to that. So don't object when we demand our children to walk out of the school systems. That has to be. They're under attack. You're under attack, but you don't care. You've been laying down enjoying it for the past 300-400 years. But it's not enjoyable when we see our children that way, and we're going to have to pull them out of their school system. They fought long and hard. They don't want them there. When you know somebody don't want you there, and then they show you they don't want you there, it's time to go. So I need you to concentrate on that going forward. Okay? We're going to be addressing these issues. We're going to be addressing the fact that you have police officers that are serial killers, serial rapists on departments. And we will be removing them. You don't have to go and ask nobody to take that son of a bitch off that job. He killing and murdering. I don't have to go to nobody. I'm in protection mode. And I suggest you go get there too. It's a nice place to be. Okay? So until we can talk again, I love you. I am Nathan Robinson, and I am back quiet.